Okay, dear students, so let us start with the topic A1. And first of all, let's go for the formulas that have been given in the original data booklet. So this is clearly on your screen. So not many formulas have been given in this topic because overall this topic is seen as one of the easy topic, and they say that it is quite basics. But my take on this is that not always that you would be getting easy question from this topic. No, because when the topic is easy, there is more space for teachers to create more tricky question and more difficult questions. So don't believe that the questions that you are going to see from the topic A1 will be easy, but they will be of mediocre level. So what are the formulas that you are getting here? Only and only these SWOT equations have been given here. So S is equal to U plus V by 2 into T, V is equal to U plus AT, up to V square is equal to U square to AS. So this is all given here, but not more than this. But this is not the only thing that we are learning in the topic of kinematics. What are the things that we are learning? So in kinematics, you are learning motion in a straight line, SWOT equations like what is displacement, what is velocity, what is the acceleration initially, and very easy questions like what is the displacement, what is distance. After that, you have SWOT equations, and then you have some graphs here which relate to the SWOT equations again. So I think that is good to go with. And after that, you have the circular motion that is covered here, and you have the projectile motion which is covered in the topic of kinematics. So let us first talk about the circular motion. So the circular kinematics, actually, according to me, that is the part of A1 kinematics. But so I have written all these formulas here, L is equal to this, and all the corresponding SWOT equations. But later only I realized that these formulas, they are already given in the data booklet in the topic A4. So these formulas are written in the topic A4 in original data booklet. They're already present. So no need to write it here. But anyways, if I have written, so let us discuss it. So when you are going to convert your linear formations like the linear velocity formulas and all, you can convert them into their rotational counterparts by just replacing the variables. Like S is replaced with theta, U is replaced with omega naught, V is replaced with omega. Same you do it everywhere. A is replaced with alpha, like that. So accordingly, you can create the corresponding rotational SWOT equations. So there is a pattern in which you can create more rotational formulas, but we would be discussing about that only when we see A4. And the other topic, other formulas for the circular motion is L is equal to r theta when you are comparing the arc length with the theta which is suspended at the center of the circle. V is the tangential velocity, omega is the angular velocity, V is equal to r omega, A is equal to r alpha. Again, we would be considering these things in the topic A4 there. So we can skip these things for now. So after this, there are a couple of more formulas that I have written here. Let me discuss that. Number of revolutions. So I have not written this formula in the topic A4, so you need to concentrate here. So when you want to find the number of revolutions that the tire has made or the body has made, you will find the total angular displacement divided by 2 pi. So that is there. Another is when the RPM is given. Again, this is related with A4, by the way. Like when the N is given, like the rotations per minute or revolutions per minute is given, you have to convert it into radian per second angular velocity. So you would be using this formula 2 pi n by 60. Be very careful. This formula is not that very popular, and so you might not be knowing this. But there are some questions in Homer. They are using this. I believe Sokos is not giving even one single question on this. So there is a bit of ignorance on this. So be very careful. This is a very important formula when you want to find omega. Okay, so after that, the other things we will be considering only in the topic A4. Now, further, when we move further in the topic A1, there is a major part that comes after that. That is the projectile motion of various types. So, Okay, all my lectures for the topic A1 are available on YouTube channel and are free to watch. Okay, so the point that I was pointing here is that there are various types of projectile motions which are defined, like the vertical projectile motion, the body is going up and coming down. The horizontal projectile motion, like it is going like this, like you are kicking a ball from the rooftop. Then there is another projectile motion like this, which is known as oblique projectile motion. So this is oblique projectile motion. So there are different types of projectile motions, and as many projectile motions, as many concepts, as many formulas. So my advice to you here is, do not remember the formulas for the projectile motion, but you should be good with these. Like, how are you doing this? How are you applying your knowledge into these kind of projectile motions? So that everything is available in my lectures online. The link is shared in the description box. You can go and watch the videos now. So this A1 is completely free to watch. Make sure that you do not leave any video there. Okay, and every projectile motion is having a different kind of formula, so you are not remembering anything. But for the oblique projectile motion, which is kind of the most complex of all of the projectile motions, there are three formulas that you can still remember. So I know that IB students do not want to remember the formulas usually. So if you are not interested, then I tell you what is happening. You have to derive these formulas right there in the examination, or you have to apply the concept from the scratch. So sometimes it creates a chance for more clerical mistakes. So be very careful if you're not remembering the formula. Otherwise, these formulas are good to remember. There is a notion that you cannot use these formulas in paper 2 questions because the formula is not given in data booklet, which is not right. I have seen IB themselves using these formulas in their IB mark schemes for paper 2 in alternative 1, 2, and 3, isn't it? So I think with these three formulas, it is really good to go with the IB, no problem at all. So this is the range, this is the height of the projectile, and this is the time of the flight. So if you can remember, very good. Now, after that, there is another thing that you can remember, which is the centripetal acceleration. Again, it is the part of circular kinematics. So we have covered it here. So the centripetal formula is also given there in the topic A3, I believe. So you can refer to that in your data booklet on your table. But I think like this formula is already there. So centripetal acceleration is given as r omega square in the terms of omega, but in the terms of linear velocity, centripetal acceleration is v square by r. Okay, so this is the topic A3. The formula is given in A3. So this is centripetal acceleration. And very funny thing here, I have given three types of R, which does not actually mean anything. Only thing is that in India, this R is more popular, but in other countries, this R is popular. In some other countries, they're writing R like this. So these are all various ways of writing the R. So do not get confused. This is radius. Okay, now we are coming to a gray zone of this. So there is a topic which is mass flow rate, and I tell you, some of the books are literally talking about this. Like you can find these formulas in Homer, but there are some other books which are not using these formulas. So this is in a gray zone area. um, Prior to the updation of the syllabus, it means in the old syllabus this was the part of syllabus, but now it has become a bit more tricky. So I have given these formulas here, only three formulas to remember. What kind of context? Like let's say there is a nozzle and water is gushing out of it, let's say like this. So you want to find what is the mass flow rate of the water. Like the unit will be kg per second, like 5 kg per second water is coming out of the nozzle, kind of. So that is the mass flow rate. Rho is the density, A is the area of the nozzle, and V is the velocity with which the water is coming out. So the mass flow rate can be found by this formula. So do not even, like there are chances that IB might be asking this, but this is a gray zone area. Do not believe that you can derive this formula there. No, you have to remember them. And the force is like what is the force on the nozzle, or if there is some body there, so what is the force which will be applied by water on that thing. And you can use these formulas for the windmill also. Like for example, there is a windmill, so this is the area A, and the wind is blowing in this area. The velocity of the wind is v, the density of the air is rho, area is a. So what is the mass flow rate? Rho av. What is the force on the wind? Rho av square. And what is the power at the disposal of the windmill, like the total energy which is contained in the wind when it is going to enter into the windmill, you can say. So that formula is 1 by 2 rho av cube. They are very good and quick formulas to be used in mass flow rate. Technically, it is not out of your syllabus, but again, it is in the gray zone. So be very careful. If you can remember these formulas, that will be very good. Okay, some of the teachers worldwide they are still teaching this topic in their classrooms, and some of the books have also given these formulas. Okay, so having said that, I believe everything in the topic A1 is over. And after that, we would be moving into the topic A2. So that will be a even big Pandora box that we are going to open. Okay, dear students, so see you in the next video. Bye.